What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about your heart, having heart and drive, right? And something I've kind of seen is a trend nowadays is a lot of people just are too far removed from their heart, man. They have very little empathy. They have very little drive. They have very little, they're not very courageous. And I understand, man, that sometimes just the act of living can be courageous, right? And that everybody in the world is fighting unseen battles. I get that too. But people are just, they're so removed from their own heart. And they use people nowadays to make themselves feel better. To, for whatever reason. I mean, people are using other people just to get free food and whatever, or ego boost, a self-esteem boost, whatever it is that they're doing. People have no heart no more. They have no integrity. They're going to do the bare minimum because, of somebody else's successes. And they feel like they deserve it inherently. And it's not true, man. You have to work hard. But people being removed from their heart, they're too far removed from it. They have no sense of drive, no sense of self, no sense of identity, no integrity, no nothing. And that is a norm nowadays. Where back, I'd say 100 years ago, people were had a lot more integrity, and they had a lot more drive, and they had a lot more heart, and they were courageous, and they weren't scared to take risks, and they weren't scared to stand up for what's right. And nowadays is you stand up for what's right, and you express yourself, and you're punished for it. And it's a very sad time for people who have integrity and who are willing to stand up and speak their mind and stand up for what's right. It's very troubling times. I'm not even going to lie about it. And I try to tell people all the time, that I try to be a man of integrity. That even though I have suffered my share of heartbreak and my share of, ill fortunes, some of it my fault, some of it not, I really feel like some of it isn't my fault. That's just fate, or the good Lord testing me. The good Lord's got to temper the metal, before he can use it. And so I kind of feel like that's my trial and tribulation test. You got to find out what a man's made of, but you never know what lies in a man's heart. You never know what lies in a woman's heart. Those people, could have a lot more resiliency than you believe, but it's silenced because of the way the world is now, it seems like. And so I feel like an old soul lost in a new time. I really do. And people, they'll use you for all they can, and then the next thing you know, you're all used up, and then they cast your husks to the side, like a reject, and that's really not fair to people, who are actually trying to do right by the world, because they're getting taken advantage of, even though they're doing the best they can to make the world a better place. Everybody says, well, you got to make the world a better place. You got to do it on your own, and you got to set the example, and you got to start it. But in reality, people are finding a way to exploit that for their own personal gain nowadays. So you have to be careful not to cast your pearls amongst swine, man. And it's so hard to judge one from the other. You see somebody that needs help, and you're like, man, I really want to help these people because they need my help, and they're down on their luck. And then you help them, and then the next thing you know, they need your help forever and ever and ever, and then you're enabling them. Then you got to be tough loving them. And then it's just, guys, it's just very bad how honor, integrity, strength of will, ambition, all this other stuff, man, that made our greatest generations of Americans and people in general, civilizations, build up and be what it is today, as a result, has died off. Now, everybody seems very weak, and they have very little drive and very little, rigidity. They don't have that strength inside to carry on. And, it's just very bad, and they let people take advantage of them, and they let people hurt them. And some people are just content to be in the game, you know, as long as they're in the game, they don't care if they're on the bench or not. No, that ain't me. I'm not going to be on the bench. If I'm in the game, I'm going to be playing. And it's just like this, you know, I strive to be the best at everything I do. Am I the best at everything I do? No, but I strive to be. I try to do right by my people. I try to hone my skills to a next level. I try to learn. I try to be an open book. I try to be a blank page as well, so that somebody who knows better than me can write and imprint on me and make me better. But you know, if I could share something with the world, it would be just you need to try to understand that we're in a time now where everybody has to be right, no matter whether it's facts based or not, and everybody is, you know, out to get what's theirs and not really worried about having any integrity, having any fortitude to push forward or do the right thing. And even nowadays, doing the right thing is risky. It's so risky. And I know that, you know, you got to take risk in life to get reward. That's just the basis of reality. But and to tell you the truth, just to do the right thing is risky. Like, it's confusing to me, you know, that for me to do the right thing, I'm going to have to suffer something when I can do the wrong thing and just maintain. It just makes no sense. And if you're a man of integrity and you got some backbone and you stand up for yourself, you stand up for others, then you get punished and beat on and ridiculed and made an example of. It's a very sad time, guys. And I wish that one person at a time we could change it. But I'm sorry to say that they're eradicating that. They're taking that out of the game. You know, and you know, it's just the stuff that I hear nowadays. I hear people talking about rosters. I got a roster. What do you mean you got a roster? Well, you know, I've got, especially guys, man, I've got 4 or 5 women I'm talking to, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, why? Well, you know, because if this don't work out, I got a plan. If this don't work out, I got a plan. If this don't work out, I got a plan. But have you ever considered that all 3 of those people that you just mentioned all have feelings themselves, and they all feel like they should be number one and they should be prioritized, you know? And if you're not giving all of them, you can't give all of them 100. So you're not giving any of them a fair shake. So you're really not doing them any justice. And then, you know, the females are the same thing, man. It's like, you know, I got a roster, you know, I've got my next man lined up if this guy don't work out. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then that's the same thing with like jobs, man. People are like, yeah, I work this job and I'm only going to give them the bare minimum because some billionaire's out there making money, and I'm not going to buy him another Bugatti. But at the same time, you know, that paycheck hits your, you know, bank account every week, and you're making that money. You're feeding your family. You're affording your lifestyle, you know. And I do agree that you don't need to spend your entire waking moments working and sacrificing your family for a job. A lot of people have been asked to do that. You need to sacrifice your time and your stuff with your kids to work this job because this company needs to elevate to the next level. Nah, I don't believe in all that. But, you know, it is a blessing to have a job. It is a blessing that, you know, there's billionaires out there who make companies who are able to pay you very good wages. You know, and is there, you know, dispute on wage gaps and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. We're talking about in generalities here. You know, if you got a decent set of skills, you can make a decent living doing something, you know, with those skills. And it's just that's what I'm getting at. It's like, there's no integrity, you know. I feel very sad about it. And, you know, and people, the way we're using each other is outrageous. You know, you know, there's no honesty, there's no upfront integrity, there's just no communication, there's people are not telling their intentions up front. They're not, you know, being honest with themselves or the people they're involved with, be that friendships, relationships, anything in that particular order or anything in that particular realm. I mean, people are just not being very honest with themselves and with other people, and all it turns out to do is you end up hurting people or hurting your friends or your coworkers or anything that's going on. And it's very unfortunate, I think. So if I could tell the world anything right now, I would say that every single person in this world needs to have a little integrity, have a little self-pride in what they do, have some willpower, and do the right thing, like as much as you possibly can. And I'm not asking you to sacrifice everything, but I am asking you to do what's right, and give people a break, and be upfront and communicate right, and just, you know, give people the common courtesy, give companies the courtesy, and hopefully the companies will then in turn give you the courtesy, and y'all can have a symbiotic relationship where both of y'all benefit on a great level. See, I've heard stories, well, this company, you know, I worked all year long, we were only supposed to make $5-10 million, we made 30 million, and we were hoping to get a bonus, and they didn't give us a bonus, so screw them, I'm doing a bare minimum this year, blah 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 blah. And then, you know, I get it, guys. I mean, that I get it, and you have to take a stand. I get that too, but at the same time, man, your lights were on, your water was on, your car payment was paid, you went on vacation. You know, just because some millionaire's benefiting from it doesn't mean you ain't benefited from it in some way, form, or fashion. A bonus is just what it is, a bonus, and you're at the wheel of those who own companies. And if you can't really live with that, then maybe you need to start your own company, start your own business, do your own thing, make your own sacrifices, sacrifice your money, your time, your vacations, and work 60, 70, 80 hours a week to make the business work, and then you can be your own boss. And then you can't complain about how unfair your company is when you're the one benefiting mainly from it. So what I'm getting at, guys, is that, you know, I really see the world, it just seems like it's in such decline, and I really hope that people can have a little more integrity nowadays, and people don't, you know, I wish people would just quit trying to use each other for whatever they can get, and then just throw them to the wolves and throw their used up husk right to the ground and just forget about them. And it's just, that's a very sad state to be in. And you know, that's why we have high suicide rates. That's why people are on more depression medication, more anxiety medications, because there's so much pressure and stress in this world to keep things going. And, you know, at the drop of a hat, somebody wants to take it from you. And, you know, you've just got to fight. And it never stops. And it's, you know, especially if you're alone, if you don't have a significant other that's there to support you, and then you're trying to help, you know, having somebody there to pat you on the back, man, and give you motivation and talk to you, and somebody you can vent to, and somebody you can trust that will help you, and you know, that's invaluable. And, you know, if you don't have that, it's an even worse situation. And even if you do have it, it's tough, you know. So all I'm saying, guys, is that, you know, today I've been thinking about it, man, and you know, I really do feel like an old soul in a new time, and I feel like that I'm being left behind by time, because, you know, the way I view the world and the way I see things going, it just ain't aligning very good. And I really pray that, hope that through communication and talking and exposing some of this stuff, that maybe some people with the heart and the will and the strength and the integrity will get out there and will do the right thing. And don't be so far removed from your heart. Have empathy, you know, have drive, have, you know, have that heart that you had to win the ball games you did in high school, and have that heart to get that 350-pound bench press that you wanted to get, you know, and fight and work out harder and harder and harder just to get that, you know. Just have the heart to do what's right, and to make goals and set them and then achieve them, and take and you know, don't be so far removed from your heart that you become a vampire of society, and you're just, you know, predating on everybody in society, and predating on society itself, and just not really contributing back. And that's not how you leave a legacy. You got to leave a legacy by, you know, helping people and being the kind of guy that, or the girl that gives people hope and gives people a bar that they can strive to reach. And you yourself can find somebody in your life that you can strive to be, you know, and just try to really be the best you can ever be, as much as you possibly can. So anyway, guys, that's the talk for today. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, that's been on my heart. So like, comment, subscribe if you like this content, and we'll talk to you guys next time.